This is your daily dose of all things royal.
The people I feel most sorry about are the trolls who their hopes are just built and built and built, and it's like, yes, 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 and then it doesn't happen. So I feel sorry for them. Genuinely, I do.
The arrogance on this guy, I swear, it's like so thick that I feel like I'm choking every time this man speaks. The audacity of this guy saying that he doesn't know these headlines that keep coming out, and I call bullshit on that. This whole week, if many of you have noticed, has been saturated daily with Harry and Meghan garbage. And that was all intentional. We know that they do this. And a lot of it that we see is all part of the facade to prove Harry's point that the media puts out mis and disinformation to drive us all crazy. And I think it's intentional. These two are so sadistic that I wouldn't put it past them to mess with people's minds by putting out these conflicting stories. In fact, I know that they're putting out these conflicting stories themselves so they can prove their case of why we need to regulate the media. In this video, let's run down the nonsense that Harry and Meghan had put us through in these latest escapades, beginning with Archewell, or as I like to call it, the Archewell Fugazi Public Charity. Many of you are aware that the Archewell Fugazi Public Charity dropped their impact report and their 2023 IRS return, and boy, I think we can all say that they dropped the ball. We know that there is $6 million right now that is playing hide and seek. Honestly, how do you lose $6 million in a charity? Did they donate it to the cause of rehabilitating Meghan and Harry's image for 2024? It sure feels like it. The more and more we look at this charity, it's like they turned the charity into a magic act, but instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, they're pulling money out of God knows where. It's all just one big optical illusion. Don't you feel like that's what we're looking at? I think so. And let's talk about this impact report for a second. This glossy marketing spread that they put on every year is more like impact evaporation. It's really all fluff and no substance. Harry and Meghan are like, look, we're showing up to do so much good, but really there's no proof to that. It's like they're trying, or at least Meghan is trying desperately to convince us that she's like the next Mother Teresa. But all I see here right now is just pure smoke and mirrors, because that's all that they do. It's just a front. They talk about their work, but it's always so vague. You know, when they say that they partner with organizations, well, what exactly does that mean? Are you funding them? Are you promoting them in this impact report? And that's enough for impact? They're like, we help people. Help them do what? Help them to their bank account? I can't see what else they're offering to society at this moment. These two hypocrites bang on all the time about transparency, but when it comes to their finances, it's like trying to see through a brick wall. And let's not forget, this is the same charity that's been called out for not filing their registration forms on time, blaming the fact that it got lost in the mail, almost like the dog ate my homework kind of thing. I mean, by now, it's pretty standard that these two never want to take any type of accountability for their bad behavior or actions that they have taken. Instead, they choose to blame it on other people. So, of course, all their failings in life thus far is blamed on others, not because of anything that they do, because they are so perfect. Now, of course, the standout moment for Archewell this week was that $250,000 donation to Ashley Biden's charity. Could it be just a coincidence, or was that a little thank you for keeping Harry's visa under wraps? It's like Harry and Meghan are saying, look, we've got political connections, but really all I see is a desperate attempt to keep Harry's ass in America. From the very beginning, Archewell has been as dodgy as they come. And let's be honest, if they are doing things and using this charity as a front or shill in this chess game that they're playing with the government, between Harry's visa as well as funds being shifted around to various accounts undetected, it will get exposed. We just have to keep talking about it. Before people had time to process this information, the following day, that German documentary that Harry and Meghan claim they had nothing to do with drops. Like, it was so obvious that that was all Harry and Meghan dropping that as early as April to build up the hype that there's some type of revelation that was coming. But it turned out to be like the dud of the century. And it was like they thought, let's pretend that we have no involvement with this and make sure that everything is glowing about us so our story can get out again. Now, I personally think that this German documentary didn't make the waves that they were expecting it was going to make in order to win back favor for Prince Harry and feeling sorry for the couple because they were misunderstood. So today, what we see plastered everywhere is to keep Meghan in the headlines about her feeling hurt and betrayed by her neighbors, saying that they were barely seen and really are not contributing anything to the community. I think a lot of us think when we look at this couple, they talk about their life, their struggles, but it seriously is like watching a reality show where the drama is so forced, you can see the scriptwriters in the background. Honestly, the consensus is that everything that Harry and Meghan do is so contrived and so staged. There's nothing authentic about whatever they say or they do. Even Harry's DealBook interview. Oh, no, I don't have any stock accounts. Bullshit, Harry. We know that you're on social media every damn day. All right, but let's give Harry and his bitch wife a little bit of benefit of the doubt. If these two are not on social media, then why do they feel like they are the experts and the ones to lead this initiative of rebuilding the online space with its guardrails because of so much hate and bullying online, if they're not online to see what's going on? These two hemorrhoids on humanity can't really talk about the hate that they receive if they're not online, right? In the midst of the deluge of information from Archewell in this German documentary, we then now have Harry back in court playing the arrogance Olympics. He's like, I want privacy, but literally he's got more lawsuits than he's got friends. I think now the majority of us, whenever we see Harry, we are disgusted because of the level of arrogance and entitlement that this guy exudes every time he opens his mouth. We're all sick of him demanding security like it's his right, but after making himself the biggest target, he's like, can you fund my bodyguards because I've caused my own shitstorm? It's like asking for a refund on a bad decision you made yourself. He's suing for privacy while simultaneously making his life more public than ever. So what do you expect, Harry? You're going to put a target on your back, especially when you say stupid shit. I do believe Harry does understand what he's doing, and it's intentional. He's not worried about security because he has enough security. They're just making us think that he doesn't have security. What he wants is his IPP status back. But in this situation, I do believe that they continue to weaponize the media in order to provoke enough people to do something, in order to say, see, look, we need to build social media over and put safety at its core by baking in these guardrails, otherwise known as regulations and censorship. Now, the thing that I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out is that the people that work for Harry and Meghan, especially those working for Harry surrounding him, have been with him for a while now, a couple years, like James Holt, Beth Hurley. I'm trying to figure out, are they incompetent or are they equally disconnected to what everybody is saying? Because it makes no sense to me that Harry is suing for privacy, but simultaneously making his life more public than ever. See, and let's not forget that Harry's doing all of this while his own family drama plays out in public. It's like he's forgotten or is ignoring the fact that he's in the real world and asking for this privacy, but then at the same time, he's spilling his guts for money. Now, the thing that's always baffled me is that, aside from his bitch wife, Harry and Meghan have tons of advisors around them, and still do. My question is, who is advising them and telling them that all these deals and all the projects that they have executed on, which is not many, but very damaging, were a good idea? Like, what's it going to take to get it through his head that America no longer sees him as this shiny toy and everybody wants to be friends with him? Like, if the South Park roasting wasn't enough, or Bill Simmons calling him and his bitch wife effing grifters, or the thousands of people who signed a petition in protests against Harry receiving this Pat Tillman Award is not an indicator that you are not popular, let it go, bro. Just let it go. Go off and do your charity work and be quiet and humble about it. Stop trying to force yourself down people's throats because it's having an adverse reaction with everyone. We all know that Harry and Meghan want to say and do as they please, and they don't want anybody criticizing their bad behavior, hence the reason why they're such advocates for censorship, because it's a power play for them. They're both about controlling the narrative like they've got a copyright on the truth. You can have your free speech, but only if it's speech that aligns with their agenda. Otherwise, you need to be silenced. We've all experienced this or have witnessed this happening because this couple has been running their own little dictatorship of information. We know this, we watch this, and we see this play out, and it's still going on. Harry's involvement with various organizations is not about service with him, it's about power. This is why Harry and Meghan go and target the impressionable youth as well as vulnerable people, because if they're offering money, they're really not in a position to say no, and at the same time are naive to this couple's selfish, exploitative, and sinister agenda. The thing that makes me really sick about Harry and Meghan is that they want to tell people how to live their lives. This is why they prey and go after the impressionable youth. They want to be able to make that decision for them on how they think, how they feel, and what they do in this lifetime. To me, I feel like those kind of people are the most dangerous people to humanity, because essentially that's what's destroying humanity. Harry and Meghan offer absolutely nothing to society, especially Meghan. Like, let's end with Meghan's thirst trap on the red carpet with Tyler Perry. I mean, this woman turned the red carpet into her personal runway, and not in a good way. She's out there clinging to Tyler Perry like he's the last lifeboat on the Titanic. You notice that? All because he's allegedly her friend, or maybe because she's got something on him, and the godfather to this invisible child, little Betty. But let's be real, it's not about friendship, it's about the camera for Meghan. You know, as I said the other day, this red carpet appearance was all about her. It wasn't about celebrating Tyler Perry. She was literally on the red carpet posing like she was the main event, not just as a guest. And, you know, again, she had to be ushered off the red carpet, because she just would not leave. And for Meghan, every pose, every smile, no doubt was calculated, especially the woman that she went and said hello to probably was planted there just to make it look like Meghan was somewhat popular. But here's the kicker to all of this, right? She's parading around in luxury, acting like she's some self-made icon. But you could see her narcissism on display, 100%. And all I see when I see Meghan now is this empty, vacuous, shallow human being that has nothing but a black soul. Meghan offers nothing to society, and there's nothing really there that should be envied. Yeah, she's got money, but what is she really doing with it? Throwing it away on PR that's not even helping improve her brand or image because she's not making any kind of money from it. Unless she is making money from all these puff pieces, which I do think there is a certain cut that she gets because she's giving these pictures or allowing these papers to post these pictures. So obviously she's getting something. Like, I know a lot of people are just so sick of seeing these two clowns, especially Meghan's face everywhere. Like her rictus grin, smiling at everyone with no substance behind it is definitely highly irritating. And I think that to some extent, this couple does this on purpose just because they're assholes like that. But also, I think in a way, there is some type of experiment or some type of study that's going on in what they have done in this saga. I truly feel like there are researchers studying the amount of puff pieces that go out and what people are saying online, and all of this that we have gone through as part of this whole entire military grade psyops. You have to ask yourself this question: can you think of another celebrity that has this type of chaos surrounding them, where every single day the media across all platforms are saturated with conflicting stories and propaganda? I'm trying to think, maybe Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift actually offers something to society. She is a singer, she has talent. This couple has absolutely nothing aside from this dumb prince who's related to real royals. You have this operation, it's not normal. In addition, think about how expensive this is to have ongoing. I mean, literally, this has been ongoing for the past 8 years. I've always said that in order for this to go away is for Harry and Meghan to run out of money. And I was actually thinking that this would have died down by now, but no, this is continuing to go on, which leads me to believe that, this is all state funded. Because there's no other way that this couple would have been able to afford putting out all this media and being able to manage and keep their staff at Archewell Fugazi Public Charity, and then also to be able to go to Colombia, Nigeria, and, to blow money on Ashley Biden. I mean, you look at this and you say, this whole thing was such a charade. How is it all going to end? And that's the question that keeps coming up in my mind. How are these two finally just going to go away? And I think now, at this point, the money doesn't look like it's going to end, because it does appear that something is backing them, whether it be the state or a rich oligarch. Something is backing this couple for this psyops. I really do think that the only way that this is going to stop is if Congress takes notice and starts probing into the activities of this couple with the Archewell Fugazi Public Charity. I think that's the only way that we're going to fully know and understand what this couple has been doing, especially with Harry's visa. I think that's another avenue that needs to come out, but I don't think that that's going to come out unless it is discovered or somebody from Congress recognizes that Harry needs to be called in and questioned, especially for January 6th and how he knew about that. Now, I've said many times over that this couple has been involved with all this shit. They've been involved with interfering with the 2020 election. They have been involved with undermining the U.S. Constitution, and Harry and his Signal server needs to be recovered, because why is David Sherborne communicating with the Department of Homeland Security on his visa? Obviously, there's something going on. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I want to just say I appreciate you. I want to leave you with this last thought. I know that so many of us, including myself, are sick to death seeing Harry and Meghan's ugly faces everywhere. Believe you me, I am just beyond annoyed and over it. But what keeps me going is remembering that Harry and Meghan's mission has been the same and consistent from day one, and that is to try and take away your freedom, my freedom, in being able to express freely. They have violated so many people's rights by what they have been doing. That cannot be forgotten, and that cannot be let go, because there's going to come a day where their feet are going to be held to the fire. If we don't continue to keep talking about it, that day will never come. And that's why I continue to keep doing what I do, because I want to see that day. I want to see Harry and Meghan be held accountable for the harm that they have caused. And that's kind of where I'm at. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
I love this Us Weekly conversation at the New York Times Deal Book Summit.
Right.
What is this entrepreneur of nothing? This guy who has never generated a dollar for his own benefit or edification. What does he know about making deals and making money? He's there because he's a celebrity, because we're all the trolls. We're all circling the bodies. We all know the divorce is imminent. This is someone, I've said it before, there's on a rental car office she won't walk through to collect a meaningless award, to get her photo taken next to her husband, the Beta Royal.
I was such a fraud.